In February 2019, Airbus announced the end of the most expensive aircraft program in commercial aviation history. After a $25 billion development budget, 254 aircraft delivered, and a production run of less than 2 decades, the A380 was going out of production. The market had spoken. The hub-and-spoke model it was built around had collapsed. The airlines didn't want it anymore. The story was over. It's 2026 now. Emirates just announced it's spending $5 billion to prove it wasn't. To understand the bet, you have to understand the thesis that created the aircraft in the first place. Airbus began studying the A380 in 1988. The concept was public by 1990. The argument was straightforward. Air travel would grow through mega-hubs: London Heathrow, Dubai, Singapore, Tokyo, and the constraint on that growth would be slot availability, not passenger demand. If you couldn't add more flights, you had to put more people on each one. The A380 was the answer to that problem. 73 meters nose to tail, 79 meters wingtip to wingtip, capacity for 853 passengers in an all-economy configuration. Emirates bought it the hardest. At their peak, they operated 118 A380s, nearly half of every aircraft ever delivered from the program. Emirates didn't just add the A380 to their fleet, they engineered their entire long-haul network around it. Dubai to London, Dubai to Sydney, Dubai to Bangkok. For a specific period of time, on a specific category of route, the aircraft worked exactly as designed. Cost per seat was competitive. The aircraft was popular. Emirates was profitable. Then the model failed. Not the aircraft, the model. While Airbus was betting on hub and spoke, Boeing was betting on a different world. The 787 Dreamliner was designed for point-to-point flying, thinner routes, more destinations, no layover required. Passengers who once connected through Heathrow or Dubai could now fly direct. And when airlines started offering that option, passengers chose it, consistently, at scale. The numbers reflect exactly how wrong Airbus read the market. Over the A380's entire production run, Airbus received 251 firm orders. In roughly the same window, Boeing received 1,500 orders for the 787. The commercial verdict was not close. By 2021, Airbus delivered the last A380 ever built to Emirates and closed the production line. No new airframes would be made. Every airline that operated an A380 was now permanently committed to a fleet they couldn't supplement, couldn't trade in, and couldn't replace with new production. And here is the part that nobody talks about. Emirates' oldest A380s are now approaching 18 years of service. They cannot be replaced with new A380s because new A380s don't exist. They cannot be quickly phased out because Emirates has nothing in its current order book large enough to cover the routes they operate. The Boeing 777X, the intended successor, has been delayed by years. The A350 carries roughly 300 passengers. The A380 carries 555. That gap cannot be bridged by smaller aircraft without adding flights, and Emirates does not have the slot capacity at Dubai to add flights at that scale. So what does an airline do when it has a fleet of irreplaceable aircraft it cannot escape from? It invests. Emirates is currently retrofitting its 15 highest density A380s, the ones configured for 615 seats. The retrofit removes 120 economy seats from the upper deck and replaces them with 56 premium economy seats and 18 additional business class seats. Total capacity drops from 615 to 569, but premium seat count increases by 74 on a single aircraft. The economics of that trade are not subtle. A business class seat on the Dubai-London route generates 3 to 4 times the revenue of an economy seat. A premium economy seat generates 1.5 to 2 times. Emirates is not trying to fill more of the airplane, it is trying to generate more revenue from fewer, higher-paying passengers. By the way, if you find yourself watching videos like this and thinking, I need more of this, subscribing genuinely takes 2 seconds. This is why June 2026 looks the way it does. 286 one-way A380 flights across 6 routes: Copenhagen, Osaka, Washington Dulles, Munich, Manchester, London Gatwick, replaced by Boeing 777s and newly delivered A350s. The high-density A380s are offline for 30 days each during retrofit. The 6 routes losing service this month are not the routes Emirates wants to protect. They are the routes that can tolerate a smaller aircraft, while the ones that can't, London Heathrow, Sydney, Bangkok, keep their A380 service unchanged. This is not the first time an airline committed deeply to an aircraft that the market had declared finished. Pan Am built its entire transatlantic identity around the Boeing 747. When deregulation destroyed its route network, the aircraft were worth less than the debt attached to them. Pan Am ceased operations in 1991. Japan Airlines operated the 747 SR, the short-range, high-density domestic variant, for nearly 3 decades after the airframe design was finalized. The economics of replacement were worse than the economics of continued operation, so they flew them. Emirates is doing something more deliberate. Emirates Group reported a record profit of $6.6 billion in its 2025-26 financial year. This is not an airline making a defensive decision from a position of weakness. The $5 billion is a forward bet made from strength. The bet is specific. The A380, refitted for premium economics, can still outperform any alternative on the ultra-high-density routes Emirates controls. Not because the aircraft is technically superior, because on those routes, Dubai to London, Dubai to Sydney, there is no replacement aircraft available that can carry the same number of premium passengers at equivalent cost per seat. The 777X was expected to begin deliveries in 2020. It is 2026. Certification is still ongoing. The A380 has not just outlasted its own commercial moment, it has outlasted its own announced replacement. The question is not whether the $5 billion investment will generate a return on the narrow accounting of a cabin retrofit program. The question is what happens when the 777X finally arrives, and whether Emirates, having spent $5 billion doubling down on an aircraft with no future production, will have the financial and operational space to execute the fleet transition. It has been planning since 2019. The airline is simultaneously investing in the future of a plane with no future and waiting for a replacement that keeps not coming. Whether that is industrial pragmatism, the only rational response available to an airline trapped by its own historical success, or a strategic miscalculation at a scale that would take years to become visible, depends entirely on what you believe the next decade of aviation demand actually looks like. Emirates is betting on high-density, premium-yield, hub-to-hub traffic continuing to grow. If they're right, the $5 billion looks like the most disciplined capital deployment in commercial aviation history. If they're wrong, it looks like a $25 billion aircraft program that ended in 2021, getting a second life and a second failure. Drop what you think in the comments. And if this kind of analysis is worth your time, hit like and subscribe.